Let's now send it over to center court, where Greg Sterrick takes things over along with Jim Albrecht.
Thanks a lot, Joe. 5 teams remain in the quest for the crown. One of those teams, the Hamilton Cardinals, who come in here with but 2 losses. Their road to state went this way in the second season. In the regional and the sectional, they got their way. Dallas City, Havana, and then, of course, Pittsfield, always a tough team to beat. Pittsfield fell at the super sectional. Now, as far as Brian Stillwell, the coach, is concerned, he thinks this quest for the Elite 8 started before the season began.
Then as soon as our season was over with last year, the kids put a lot of time forth. They stayed focused on what we needed to do. We had a couple setbacks during the season, but for the most part, our guys understood what it needed to take to get here, and they've done a fine job in getting us here.
Greg Sterrick, if you're watching this game at home, you might need a wide TV for Hamilton, because wide is what they are.
Well, the strength of Hamilton is definitely on the inside. You've got Meister on the inside at 6'8", 240, and you've got Havens on the inside at 6'4", and he's a big body also. Meister's their leading scorer at better 12 points per ball game, also grabs 9 rebounds. So the strength's definitely on the inside.
The Mendota Trojans are used to Sweet 16 play. They're not so used to making it here to the Elite 8, but Mike Kilmartin's team did just that in the super sectional, knocking off Elgin St. Edward. In the sectional, they took care of a big Sandwich team, and then, of course, in the regional, defeating Ohio in the finals there. Now, this is one of the youngest teams at the Elite 8, but the coach thinks that his 2 seniors solidify the other underclassmen.
Our 2 senior co-captains, Chad Rosenwinkel and Aaron Eddy, the only 2 that we have out of the 14-man squad. We use them as communicators from the coaching staff to the floor to settle down our young kids. We've been marvelously composed through the tournament series, and I really don't have the answer to why that is, but I would give great credit to our 2 senior co-captains.
Greg, when you talk about Mendota, you talk about a super sophomore and the coach's kid.
Well, Jason Crowley's their leading scorer. He's a good perimeter shooter from the outside, almost 18 points per ball game. Then you've got Kilmartin also in the backcourt. He averages about 12 points per ball game. So those 2 guys do most of the scoring for the ball club.
We are set for the final game of the quarterfinal round at Assembly Hall in Champaign. Who will it be, Mendota or Hamilton? We're about to find out after these local messages.
I'd go back to CarX.
We only fix what needs fixing.
You bet they'll get me back.
We show you what's wrong and what's right.
I'd go back to CarX.
At CarX, we know there are dozens of places you can go for brakes, shocks, exhaust repairs.
For sure, CarX will get me back.
We're going to give you just what you need at a great price, because we want to be the one you go back to.
Yeah, I'd go back. CarX will get me back.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom. Don't worry, call the CarX man.
Do you know what about the Blazer that I really like and that I'm not afraid to say is different from, you know, Nissan and Jeep and Ford? It's really sturdy in the wintertime. When I put it in 4-wheel drive, I really feel comfortable. I don't feel the sliding and, you know, the spinning of the wheels. So that it's that reassurance that you have, you know, in that bad weather. I mean, my wife and I, we fight to see who's driving the Blazer. I do. I really do drive a Blazer.
It's time now for the CarX Factors of the game, brought to you by CarX Muffler and Brake. For mufflers, brakes, and shocks, don't worry. Call the CarX man. As far as Hamilton, they want to get that ball outside, don't they, Greg?
They like to get it up and down quick, so they need some easy scores off transition baskets. They need to let the big fellows work on the inside. If you're Mendota, you got to get some good play out of your guards. They need to score from outside. They also got to do a good job in controlling the defensive boards. They can't give up easy baskets off offensive rebounds.
Caro, Hales Franciscan, and Staunton are already in. Let's go to public address announcer Steve Adams and find out just who these 2 teams consist of.
Busalo. Number 12, a 5'9" junior, Darren Monroe. Number 22, a 6'1" sophomore, Scott Lippy. Number 24, a 5'11" junior, Brian Stormer. Number 30, a 6'1 junior, Jeff Doherty. Number 32, a 6' senior, Brandon Fenton. Number 42, a 6'2 senior, Sean Stevenson. And now let's meet the non-starters from Mendota High School. Number 13, a 5'11 sophomore, Brian M. Number 14, a 6'2 sophomore, Troy Sean. Number 15, a 5'10 freshman, Eric Duke. Number 21, a 5'10 freshman, Brian Boyer. Number 22, a 6' sophomore, Jose Medina. Number 24, a 6' junior, Mark Whitmer. Number 30, a 6'1 junior, John Hochstetter. Number 32, a 6' sophomore, Clint Roman. And number 34, a 6'6 junior, Toby Fitzgerald. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. At forward for Hamilton, a 6'2 junior, number 40, Todd Brownlee. At forward for Mendota, a 5'10 senior, number 23, Aaron Eddy. At the other forward for the Cardinals, a 6'4 senior, 52, Jason Havens. At the other forward for the Trojans, a 6'3 sophomore, number 35, Jason Kryling. At center for Hamilton, a 6'8 junior, 54, Kurt Meister. At center for Mendota, a 6'4 senior, number 40, Chad Rosenwinkel. At one of the guards for Hamilton, a 6' senior, number 14, John Holcomb. At guard for the Trojans, a 5'10 junior, number 20, Eric Becker. At the other guard for the Cardinals, a 6' senior, number 4, Ryan Lemon. And at the other guard for the Trojans, a 6' junior, 33, Jason Kilmartin. Now introducing the coaches. First, from Hamilton, assistant coaches Steve Sergesketter, Pete Hoff, and Red Rogers. And the head coach in his second season is Brian Stillwell. And for Mendota, the assistant coaches are Mike Wasmer, George Poole, and Mike Mueller, and the head coach in his 10th season is Mike Kilmartin. And here are your officials for this fourth and final quarterfinal game.
We are just about set for game 4 of the quarterfinals. One of your network sponsors is Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Here's tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Zenith. The quality goes in before the name goes on, and the weight and the beef goes on and on for Hamilton.
Well, the matchup to watch is Meister and Rosenwinkel on the inside. Meister at 6'8", Rosenwinkel at 6'4". That's a nice matchup. When you look down through there, Kryling at 6'3". He's the leading scorer for Mendota, so Havens has his work cut out for him.
Our officials for tonight's game, Preston Brewer and Gene Morgan. They'll keep everything within the rules, and one of these teams will set the stage for the Final Four tomorrow. Tip is controlled by the Trojans of Mendota. This is Kilmartin, the coach's son, down low to Rosenwinkel. To get you acquainted with these lineups, Kilmartin kicks it back out. Eddy and Becker run things. This is the young sophomore, Kryling, with the first 2 of the night. Jason Kryling can throw it up with both hands, folks. Pressure applied by Mendota, but Holcomb will break up. It's stolen away, and here's a breakaway for Eddie. He'll get it. It's 4-0 quickly. Trojans take the lead.
Defense creates some instant offense. Eddie with the finish.
Nice steal by Kilmartin. Brownlee breaks the pressure, coming up from behind, but he'll go to the glass. He won't get it to fall. Holcomb will restart the offense, kick it over to Lemon. There's the big guy, Meister. He's got a soft touch. He can hit anywhere from within 15 feet. He'll fool you. You look at him, you think he's just going to post up down low and try to knock it home, but no, he can stand outside a ways. Rosenwinkel with his first shot, and it's there as well. They haven't missed yet.
Nice look, though, by Kryling. Kryling looked like he had the shot inside, picked up Rosenwinkel. He was squared up with the shoulders and knocked down the jumper.
Meister's alone, and he'll make him pay for that. Meister has 4. Mendota has the lead by 2. This game has started off with a bang. Becker gets it inside, and Kryling will be fouled. The first personal of the night. As far as how these two teams shape up, Greg. That, of course, was Riverton and Staunton from the previous game, but we'll take a look at these two teams momentarily. Staunton did win that game, in case you're just joining us. Kryling will get it back out. Kilmartin tries to spin free, can't get it done. Somebody's got to be open now. It's Kilmartin. High arcer, in and out, no good. Meister with a rebound. Meister gets it to Lemon. Lemon will stop. 14-footer, that's not going to be there. Rebound, however, Brownlee, and he is fouled on the way back up and should go to the charity stripe.
There's the team comparisons, Hamilton and Mendota, and you look down through there. Free throws give the edge to Mendota. Quickness is to Mendota, but Hamilton looks like you'd have to favor Hamilton in this ballgame. Field goals, 3-point field goals. And also in the rebounding department, Hamilton with a definite size advantage.
Brownlee, who's at the free throw line right now, the lefty's kind of a slashing type player. You won't see him take too many set shots. He likes to shoot on the move. Have the rims gotten looser as the day has gone along, or is that just me getting looser? Jim Albrecht and Greg Sterrick bringing you action from the IHSA quarterfinals. 8 teams arrived. 5 teams still have their hopes up high. Brownlee ties this game at 6s. Low post they go, and Kryling had to hustle after that one. Kilmartin in the lane. Can he get a shot off? He can, but he won't get it to fall. However, he will get some charity tosses. As far as Hamilton is concerned, the town is quite excited because the first time is always the most unique time in the Elite 8. They were ranked number 7 in the final regular season poll. They're trying to join the Carthage girls as state champs in Hancock County.
Look at Mendota, the first time in the Elite 8 since '89, has made Sweet 16 4 times last 7 years. Largest school remaining, 613 students.
They play in a tough conference, the NCIC, and of course a lot of teams in that conference are AA, so they come in here with 9 losses, but they learn a lot from those losses when you play AA schools. Kilmartin makes them both.
He's deadly at the free throw line. Kilmartin, the coach's son, an 81% free throw shooter on the year.
Brownlee down to Meister. You know where that's going, right to the core. Meister has 6. We're tied at 8.
Well, he does a good job running the floor. They said he lacked a little foot speed, but here early he's shown he can get up and down pretty good.
Down low it goes. Kryling. Can he get that one to fall? No. Rebound comes out of there in the form of Sean Stevenson, the 6th man, Mr. Offense for Coach Brian Stillwell. Has checked in, and keep your eyes on him. He's got a 30-inch vertical leap. It takes me a minute just to walk 30 inches. He gets up there in a hurry. Stevenson wears number 42. This is Holcomb from the outside. Bingo for 3.
They shoot the 3 pretty well. They shoot 41% on the year from 3-point territory.
Becker's the expert three-pointer. Becker and Kilmartin for Mendota, although they don't live off that arc. They like to get it inside. Kryling short. Rebound is fought for. It heads out of bounds. Last touch by Stevenson for Hamilton.
Kryling had a good look at the basket, though. It was a good shot. The offense was executed. They're running a little passing game against the man-to-man defense of Hamilton.
There you see Brian Stillwell making his substitution. We're going to break away. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Drain that three. You want to see the threes fall? Get here next weekend at Assembly Hall. The Class A and AA three-point showdown on March 20th, starting at 11 a.m. Here's a guy that can do it, Mr. Holcomb.
Shoots 43% on the year from that three-point territory.
Darren Monroe, one of the subs for Hamilton, is in the three-point competition. Eric Becker with the basketball. He's waiting for Rosenwinkel, but he can't free himself up. Becker will try again. Ball gets away, but Kilmartin has it. They like to bring Rosenwinkel high post because he's got a high vantage point standing at 6'4". He'll try to look for a cutter along the baseline. Or take it himself, like almost there. Kilmartin forcing things, and he will be fouled. Well, it wasn't a great idea to put that up in traffic, but he got the benefit of the doubt from the official after the contact.
Well, penetration, good things happen when you're able to penetrate with the basketball, and that was the case there. Kilmartin went up between two defenders in Hamilton, and he's such a good free throw shooter. That's not a bad play. Looking to pick up the foul. He shoots, as we indicated, 81% from the line. In this ball game, he's 2 of 2 from the stripe.
First foul on John Holcomb. How many times do we come down here to the state tournament and see a coach's son on the floor? Almost every year there's at least one. Last year, of course, Coach Hubbard for University Normal High had his son down here. Coach from Pena had it. Rebound, fought for, blocked out of there, but Mendota will maintain possession. So they get a chance to tie here with the two, trailing 11-9. Rosenwinkel spots Kilmartin wide open, can't get it to fall. Rebound, however, Rosenwinkel back up and in, and he will go to the free throw line. Tough basket by Chad Rosenwinkel, the 205-pound senior.
Well, good job working to get that inside position. See how he's got the inside position. The shot went up from Kilmartin, and he's right there. A little pump fake, a ball fake, and then he kind of leans back into the defender, gets it up on the window. A nice two-pointer by Chad Rosenwinkel.
Now, I'm not going to ask Mike Kilmartin where he got that tie, because I know that Greg Sturrock will want to go out and get it, just like three-point play. Picking up the foul was Sean Stevenson, and Mendota, who jumped out early here, grabs the lead again. Jeff Doherty also in the ball game, wearing number 30 for Hamilton. They'll rotate 8 men in and out of there. Up top is the aforementioned Doherty, and he nails 3. It's 14-12 Sutherland. That's not unusual for him. Guess who's open again? Rosenwinkel, but he can't get it to fall this time. Ball headed out of bounds. Last touch by Hamilton. I said Doherty's no stranger to the 3. He's taken 45 of them, Greg, but he's hit 18. That's a good percentage.
Yeah, he's shooting a 40% clip then, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's not bad from three-point range. The team shoots 41%, so they're a pretty good three-point shooting basketball team, but they should have some open shots because you know the big people get all the attention inside.
Jumper won't fall. Rebound is fought for, and Kryling kicks it back out. Eric Duke in the ball game, wearing number 15 for Mike Kilmartin's Trojans. He's only a freshman. Boy, this is the youngest tournament I can remember. Ball gets away down low. Of the 40 starters who got the call today, 19 were juniors, sophomores, or freshmen. That's young. That's Meister, who tries to go across the lane. And it's last touch, they say, by Sean Stevenson. So the turnover gives it to Mendota.
Meister looked like he had that shot. You know, that's a tough interior pass, passing that hard in close traffic. But he's a very unselfish player. Was looking for the open man, Sean Stevenson. He just couldn't handle the basketball.
He just saw a shot of Mike Kilmartin. 10 years of Mendota. His record, 156 wins, 125 losses. His son goes to the hole, and he'll go to the free throw line. Hey, you got to give it to the coach's son. he is a penetrator.
He's a penetrator. He likes to take the ball strong to the glass, and you know, once again, he's such a good free throw shooter. See, he just blows right down that baseline. Good body control, and he just leans in on the play. And Sean Stevenson picked up the personal foul. And Kilmartin at the line. He's 3 of 4 from the line. Mendota 4 of 5, 80%, but they're 33% from the floor. Field goals for Hamilton, they're 5 of 7 for 71% here early in the ballgame. 2:34 left in the first quarter.
Doesn't get that one to fall. He's not happy with himself. Checking back in for Hamilton will be John Holcomb. Also coming in for Mendota will be Eric Becker. This will happen all night long. Fresh legs.
Keep running them in and out, huh? Well, Hamilton uses an 8-man rotation anyway.
Remember what it was like to be that young, Greg?
It's only a memory.
Look.
It's only a memory. A
He
good
gets
one
the
at
kind
that.
roll.
A good one at that.
Yeah, definitely. So Hamilton has the basketball and the lead as the first quarter dwindles away. And this just in Class AA, LaSalle Peru has beaten Rock Island in the sectional finals. Rebound up and in by Darren Monroe. And now we've got a loose man at the other end. Eric Duke will go up and score. As I was saying, Rocky Falls 71-64. LP wins the sectional championship at Moline. Down the lane. Brownlee, how did he get that to fall? He is a left-hander, but that was still a nice move in midair. Hamilton with a 3-point edge. A lot of points in the first quarter here from these two. Becker will go back out front. Rosenwinkel looking for a pick. Nothing there, but now isolated is Kryling, and that's what they want. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Isolate Kryling against Meister.
And he took exactly what the defense gave him. They backed off of him a little bit. He just spotted up and knocked down the perimeter jumper. He can hit that perimeter jumper, but he's also a good driver, so they have to honor both the drive and the perimeter shot.
And keep in mind, Meister usually guards the best offensive player down inside, so he is a mobile man for all 240 pounds of him. Brownlee, he's down low. He'll go up, but he won't score. Meister had it, lost it out of bounds. Mendota will come the other way with a chance to take the lead. You think that man's into the game? He's into the game. And he had to wait all day. This is a tough game to play, the fourth game, because you have a shoot-around early in the morning. How do you kill all that time with all these youngsters?
I think the shoot-around, though, really helps these ball players.
Yeah.
You know, these young kids coming here, they're all struck by the Assembly Hall. Now they have a shoot-around, I think, just in the last 2 years. And I think that's made a difference the way these teams have started.
Kilmartin in and out. That one just refused to fall as Holcomb clears it out of there. 45 seconds now remaining in the first quarter. Meister down low on the block. Kicks it right back out. Holcomb can't get it to fall. But guess who's there? Brownlee goes up. Meister gets it back. Puts it in. Well, it wasn't the way it was designed, but it got the job done, and Hamilton leads by 3.
Yeah, Meister right place, right time there, and gets the follow-up.
Kryling against Brownlee. They'll hold for one here. 15 seconds remaining in the first quarter. A 3 would tie it. They'll go down low to Kilmartin. He has it rejected out of bounds, but there's plenty of time to get another shot off with 7.1 seconds remaining.
Well, the defense of Hamilton just really collapsed. Mendota, I think, is having some problems on the offensive end. Their spacing's not real good. They're too close. The floor's not spread well enough to let people operate in the lane area.
Gotta hurry. Kryling didn't want that shot partially blocked, and that's the way the first quarter will come to a close. The Hamilton Cardinals at 27-2 lead the 19-9 Mendota Trojans by 3. We'll return following these local messages.
Time of year, Dash and Joe Passion's update on fashion. And here at Assembly Hall, black is back. You know how kids are all wearing black high-top gym shoes now. Well, this Mendota team has been wearing black socks since the beginning of the regionals. Now that's what you call looking for an edge. By the way, how about that suit by the coach? I believe it's called Purple Passion.
Okay, Joe, I'm not going to touch that one. As you can see, Greg.
Hamilton 8 of 13, 6 of 16 for Mendota at the line, 5 of 7 Mendota. Turnovers, 2-1 edge.
That That was a pretty pass from Darren Monroe to Ryan Lemon. The two guards working the assist perfectly, and now Hamilton's lead is at its biggest, 22-17. The thing you like about Hamilton, 7 different players on this team have led the team in scoring throughout this year. Rosenwinkel finds Kryling. I bet it's good. It is. And he will go to the free throw line as well. The foul on Brownlee. You could just tell the way he was posting up and eyeing that bucket that he had it well in tune.
Well, he's looking for that open spot. See how he finds a little open spot. He's right in rhythm. Got the legs bent. He's right in the rhythm to shoot the basketball. As soon as he catches, it was a good pass delivered right where in a scoring position. There it is right there. Squared up shoulders. Kryling, nothing but net for Jason Kryling.
A few other sectional championship finals to pass along as Kryling makes the three. Palatine Frem 57. Lake Park 50. Bradley beats Joliet West 73-64 in OT. As we told you moments ago, LaSalle Peru upsets Rock Island 71-64. Chips Giovanni gets it done against Mr. Duncan Reed. And folks in the Quad Cities won't like that. There is an intense man. Out of all 8 coaches down here, this man hits the intensity meter the best.
Only his second year in Hamilton. This year they're 28-2 coming in. Last in his career he's 47-10. Another three-pointer.
That's Darren Monroe. He hit 22 coming in to this Elite Eight, and now Mike Kilmartin all over one of his guards, Aaron Eddy, about his defense. He does not like the way that Darren Monroe is getting free for that tray.
I think he asked him where his defense was. That's what the question was. There's
look how wide open he is.
Good look right there. It's a long one. It's a three-pointer and count it.
And you could see Eddy way down along the baseline. He had dropped back. That apparently not the defensive assignment Mike Kilmartin had in mind. Hamilton leads by 5. They're getting some scoring off the bench with 8. That's not unusual for this team. Kilmartin gets it partially rejected by Lemon, but Kilmartin has a way of getting to that free throw line, and he's back there again.
He shoots a lot of free throws coming into the ball game. He had shot 102. He had made 83 of 102 coming into tonight's ball game. And in this game, he's 4 of 6 from the line. And as a team, Mendota 6 of 8 at 75%. Kilmartin at the line to shoot 2.
As you look at the two coaches, Mike Kilmartin earlier in his career, I think wild would be understating things just a little bit. But he claims to have calmed down, Greg Sturck. He says over the years, he's reaching that mellow factor. You and I got there years ago, right?
Yeah, I think you're a pretty mellow guy. You know, it's difficult to coach your son, too.
Yeah, it is.
You know, in talking with Coach Kilmartin, he said his son's handled it very well, and he hasn't had any problems with it either. Once again, Hamilton goes inside, and the big fellow, Meister, responds. Meister with 10 points on 5 of 5 shooting from the floor.
He has not missed the mark yet. Mendota kind of forced into a situation here where they really cannot afford any kind of dry spell. Kryling, triple team, kicks it out. Rosenwinkel needs it, does not get it. Rebound, Meister. Here they come. Holcomb in a hurry. He'll wait for company. Down low, Brownlee. That's going to be short. Rebound, fought for, knocked out of bounds by Meister. Rosenwinkel had good position. Meister just stuck the paw in there.
Brownlee got a good look. The left-hander, he just couldn't get the shot to fall. Good look at Coach Michael Kilmartin of Mendota and Brian Stillwell, a young Brian Stillwell. Yeah. And you remember when you were 26 years old?
No, I'd have to look back in the police files, actually. It's a joke, folks. It's a joke. Jim Albrecht and Greg Sturck courtside. The 4th game on your IHSA television network. We're proud to bring you all these games. Tomorrow, of course, we start a little early for basketball, 11 o'clock, but it's going to be a dandy of a matchup. Cairo and Chicago Hales Franciscan. You might want to try to keep your own score, I dare you. They're going to put it up. Meister, will he be 6 for 6? No. He misses his first of the night. Kilmartin clears it out of there.
He didn't get a good look. I think he really wanted a little drop touch pass down low to Brownlee, but Brownlee wasn't expecting, so he went ahead and shot the basketball.
Becker forced it. It's heading out of bounds. Beautiful save by Monroe. Holcomb will pull up. Wait, put it up. Doesn't get it. They'll go to the free throw line, and Kilmartin picks up the personal. He's not happy with himself at either end on that time.
Well, Meister, good job of keeping the basketball alive, and then just a real good hustle play, and then they got it up the floor, and Holcomb was right there, but Lemon was the guy that kept it alive.
Doherty checks back in for the Hamilton Cardinals, who play their basketball in the West Central Conference. And of course, Mendota, as we told you earlier, from the NCIC, where 8 of the 12 teams in that conference are AA, including that LaSalle Peru team that beat Rock Island tonight. Holcomb makes the free throws. It's 28-22. Hamilton edges out by 6. We've got 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Good ball game so far. Nobody making a lot of mistakes.
Well, Brownlee matched up on the inside on Kryling. And Kryling skips over the top of the defense. Good ball movement. See how the Trojans are keeping the floor spread.
That's Clint Roman, number 32, along the baseline. Pump fake. Becker can't get it to fall. Rosenwinkel had it taken away down low as he went up. Nice cross-court pass to Holcomb. Lemon to Holcomb. That's pretty.
Great look by Lemon. A bounce pass, a tough pass to catch. Holcomb found the handle, and Holcomb with a good finish.
Yeah, it's tough to catch because it comes in at you low, and it's moving. Mendota looking at its biggest deficit of the night. Kryling cutting into it with 2.
Oh, it's nice to have a go-to guy like Kryling. When you need a basket, who do you go to? Jason Kryling.
Now, you will see him, if he gets the opportunity, use that left hand inside. He is ambidextrous. He plays a lot of volleyball, and of course, when you're up there at the net, you can use both hands, and that's how he learned. Meister, the bull in the China shop, not this time. Here comes Roman in a hurry. Roman, only a sophomore. He's not afraid to push it up either. Kryling gets it blocked, but he is fouled from behind. I think Brownlee may have got him before Meister got the ball slapped away.
Nice pass, though, to get it inside. Kryling posted up down low, and Kryling with a hot hand, doing a good job in the scoring department. He has 9 points, and he's 4 of 8 from the floor. See, it's a good look inside. Watch the little ball fake. See how he shows the ball right there, and Brownlee gets to lean in. The foul could have gone either on Brownlee or Meister on the play. That's going to be Jason Kryling at the line, 70% free throw shooter on the year.
And credit that Mendota defense down low. They're ganging up on Meister whenever he gets the ball low baseline on the blocks. Yeah. It didn't look like it was going to go in, but on the scorecard, it would look like a switch. Here comes another Hamilton Cardinal checking in. And, of course, Darren Monroe checking out as Brownlee is not happy with himself for taking that pump fake from Jason Kryling.
And then with Monroe in the ball game, you know, you got to always know where he is on the floor, because when he's in there, they look to him to shoot the 3.
That kid's 15 years old. He doesn't play like it, that's for sure. We've got a timeout on the floor. Mendota has come back to within 4, 30-26. Hamilton leads it. One of our network sponsors is Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. This night is still young, but of course tomorrow will dawn, and with it, the semifinals. Cairo, who took care of Dakota today, will take on Chicago Hales Franciscan, who basically out-talented Normal U High, who stuck with them for a good portion of that game. That game will come your way at approximately 11:15 pregame show at 11. And then, of course, Staunton, who shook off Riverton earlier here tonight, will take on the winner of this one, either Hamilton or Mendota, preceding that first semifinal game. With 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter, the Cardinals of Hamilton work with a 4-point lead. Meister hit his first 5. Now he's missed 3 in a row, and Mendota has a chance to cut it to 2. And here they come in a hurry. Kryling's going to force things. No, he gets it nicely over to Rosenwinkel. Man, he brought 2 men to him, and that opened it up.
Yeah, he drew the 2 defensive men, and it was a nice look. Kept his head up when he was handling the basketball, and Rosenwinkel was right there.
Lemon, high, arcing shot. No rebound. Mendota out of there with it is Kryling. Look at him keep his balance. Eddie in a hurry. Kilmartin. He's going to force, and he gets it rejected. This time it's still loose underneath, and coming out of there with it, Darren Monroe. Monroe's left open. Nobody picked him up, but he missed the shot. Kilmartin has the rebound.
That was a tough runner he tried to hit there. That was a tough play with Monroe.
Eric Duke is fouled, and when you're fouled by Meister, you're fouled. Although he doesn't think he got it. He thought he got all ball.
But you got to like the aggressive play of Eric Duke. I mean, that's a freshman taking that basketball right at a 6'8" player on the inside. He just takes it strong up to the glass and kind of reached and looked like he slapped him across the arm to get the personal foul.
Just a little bit. And he will take a seat now, Mr. Meister. A lot of these kids on Hamilton played football. A lot of them. We're a free throw away from a tie. As a coach, you just got to love freshmen who can come in and be aggressive. You know, they don't look at you, they just look at the basket.
You know, it looked like Hamilton had this in control. They were up by 8 points at 30-22, and now it's 7 straight points by Mendota. And if Duke can knock down this free throw, we've got a new ball game. He's going to tie it up at 30-all.
And we've got 2 new replacements in for Hamilton. Sean Stevenson checks back in, as does Todd Brownlee. We haven't heard anything offensively from the other big man inside Havens. Nothing at all. We're tied at 30. 3 minutes left to go here in the first half of the quarterfinal game of the day. It's been a busy day and an exciting one. If you want to see an exciting player, tune in tomorrow morning and check out Tyrone Nesby of Terra traveling out front.
Yeah, the pressure of Mendota right there. Really, it wasn't really a forced turnover, and he really just didn't have any kind of release, didn't have an outlet pass, and I think he made up his mind to pass, and then the passing lane was covered, and then he walked with the basketball.
If we were playing tennis, they would have called it an unforced error. Kryling out to the freshman Duke, but he missed everything. Stevenson has the rebound. I don't know if anybody got a hand on that, but that was a badly missed shot. Down low it goes. There's Havens, but he can't get it to fall. Tip Brownlee now, and rebounding is Mendota. Coming out quickly is Kilmartin. Did you see him sense the defender there and spin out of trouble? Eric Duke gets it to Kryling. Ooh, that's an aggressive move. He went underneath, and he'll go to the free throw line, and Stevenson has picked up another foul. He hasn't played all that much, but he's picking up a lot of personal fouls. He's got at least 2 already in his limited time.
A great pass,
that's 3.
Presence of mind there by the freshman Duke to spot Kryling slipping through and making a nice cut to the basket. So it was a nice look and a nice dish by the freshman Duke. Kryling was fouled on the play, and Kryling's going to be at the line.
We have not seen the real Sean Stevenson yet tonight. He's been plagued by foul trouble. He sets down with 3, and Kurt Meister will check back in as we look at the young freshman from Mendota. The Trojans lead it by 1. As you said, it looked like the worm may have turned the other way for the Cardinals, but an 8-point lead has dissolved into nothingness. I love that shot. That's how I feel in the morning when I get up. A little shaky.
10 straight points now for Mendota. 10-0 run.
Brownlee will force it. He'll get it down low. Havens, turn around. Yeah, that's the first bucket of the night, I believe, for Havens. And we're tied at 32s at the 2-minute mark. Good ball game here tonight at Assembly Hall. A well-played first half. You have to say that for both teams. It's the kind of first half, Greg, where everybody goes in the locker room saying, hey, we came down here, we're playing good. That's the kind of basketball we played to get here. Nobody's shaking their head, with the exception of maybe Sean Stevenson, who wants to play better. Rosenwinkel just restarts the offense. Working against that zone.
Hamilton content to sit back and play a 2-3 zone, and now Holcomb comes out and puts a little pressure on.
Open along the left wing is Eric Duke. Man, he nails a 3. The freshman puts Mendota up by 3.
Excuse me, Jim, but off the bench, the freshman with 7 points.
Man. A minute left now as Hamilton works. Holcomb looks inside for Havens, nothing there, so they go the other way around. Havens is finally open, has too much rim. Kryling with a pretty rebound. He came up from behind and tipped it back toward the baseline and picked it up.
Now Hamilton wanted to go inside. They wanted to kick it inside to Meister, but Rosenwinkel a good job of denying the basketball inside. Mendota with the basketball. 36 seconds left till the end of the second quarter. Looks like they're going to play for 1 shot, Jim.
Yeah, Mike Kilmartin says, hey, I'm up by 3 at the half. Most people thought I wouldn't be up at all at the half. Let's see if I can be up by 5 or 6. 20 seconds remaining. The way that Hamilton defense is stacked in there, it looks like somebody's going to have to shoot from outside. Eddie kicks up the offense. Eddie will penetrate. Kilmartin with 6 seconds. Can he shake free? No. Eddie's going to have to throw it up. He loses it. 1 second. That is the way, unless this goes down, the first half will end. Holcomb got it off. Couldn't get it to fall. And a great first half at the Assembly Hall, and that man's team is leading 35-32. Mendota up by 3, and the turning point of this game is what you duly noted, Greg Sterick. I believe the score was 30-22, Hamilton.
Hamilton had an 8-point advantage, and then Mendota came right back. And they went on a 10-0 run, and it was all Mendota. They got some good scoring out of Kryling. Kryling had a big first half. He's their go-to guy, and he responded very well.
Well, let's see what Coach Brian Stillwell plans on doing in the second half. He's standing by with Joe Passion. Joe?
All right, thanks very much, guys. Brian, your ball club pretty much held the first quarter. What do you see falling apart? What adjustments do you see to make up in the second half?
Well, I think we're going to have to execute a little bit better on the other end when they're in the 2-3 matchup. A couple times we let the ball beat us down the floor for some easy points, and those were things that we talked about before the game, and we're just going to have to really rotate offensively, make sure we have someone up on top at all times.
All right, Brian, thanks very much. Have a great second half.
Thank you.
All right, Brian Stillwell, probably one of the most intense coaches here at the Elite Eight, and we will be back with more of the Class A Elite Eight quarterfinal finale tonight. We're at halftime here from Assembly Hall.
There you see our score at the half. Quarterfinal game of the day. Mendota trailing by 8 not too long ago. Now up and in the locker room, 35-32. Again, everybody, I'm Jim Albrecht along with Greg Sterick. The key was, I believe, a couple of easy buckets as far as transition was concerned.
Well, Mendota was able to push the basketball up the floor pretty quickly, Jim. Hamilton didn't really get back, so they got some easy baskets, and you got to give a lot of credit to Mendota. They trailed by 8 at 30-22. It was a 10-0 run, and they really closed out the end of the second quarter, and we're here at the intermission. It was a 13-2 run. Kryling had a big first half for Mendota. On the other side of the ledger, when you look at what Hamilton was able to do early in the ball game, that was pump the basketball down low and work inside. Meister had a nice half. I think he had 10 or 11 points in the first half, so they were able to get it inside. But I really think you got to tip your hat to the way Mendota was able to come back. They had opportunities to fold when they got back behind 8 points, and they didn't do that. They really came back, and they pushed the ball up the floor very quickly and got some easy baskets.
And what Mendota did, they also put some more defensive pressure on Meister himself. He hit his first 5 shots. We're talking about the big man for Hamilton, of course. Then he missed his next 3. They kind of got in his way. Now he's thinking about it a little bit. It was a little too easy at the outset, so now we'll have to see what goes on with the Hamilton Cardinals as they check out their situation at halftime. And don't forget about the coach's son, Jason Kilmartin. He did some nice penetrating, set up a couple of mates, and also got to the free throw line for 6 points.
Yeah, he's a good free throw shooter, and he has that knack of being able to penetrate. He's a slasher and a driver. And he got his points at the line. He got 6 points at the line, but it's a 3-point advantage for Mendota. And right now in the dressing room of Hamilton, they've got to do a much better job of half-court execution, Jim. They got to continue to get Meister into the flow, and also Sean Stevenson wasn't really a factor off the bench. Picked up some early foul problems. He needs to pick up his game here in the third and fourth quarter.
Stevenson hit the tunnel with 3 personal fouls. We'll return to Assembly Hall following these local messages.
Here of our Class A quarterfinal finale Friday night, and Mendota with a slim lead here at halftime. I'm Joe Passion back with you, and we have such great high school basketball fans all throughout the state of Illinois, and they all come here for the Class A tournament when they want to see the best in Class A boys basketball. Chuck Rolinski started the Class A tournament 22 years ago, and Stanley Kennedy is an old friend of his, class of Toccola High School, 1938. Stanley has been at every high school basketball final for the last 55 years except for the World War II years. What is your most memorable moment of all those years?
Well, possibly was the year when Pinckneyville was down here at the state, and Chick Hearn was doing the color for Channel 25 out of Peoria. And he came up to me, he said, "Would you like to be on television?" I said, "Yes." So we talked for a couple of minutes. He said, "Where are you from?" "Pinckneyville." I said, "No, I'm from Toluca." He says, "Toluca?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You know Tommy Travisino? I went to school with him at Aurora." So, of course, now he's out on the West Coast with the Lakers. So I remember that. Many other things, Pinckneyville, and Hebron but the Judson brothers and all those things, Collinsville, and so many great players that you see throughout the years.
Real quickly, we just got a moment here, Stanley. What is the biggest difference you like about today's style of Class A basketball compared to when this tournament just started, or maybe even 30, 40, 50 years ago in your case?
Well, I think the run and shoot, I like that. I like to see him going up and down the floor and pop it away, because I had an unorthodox left-handed shot, and I love to pump it. I wasn't the best, but I used to shoot it.
Well, it's great to have fans like you supporting this tournament. Stanley Kennedy here. 55 years of watching high school basketball here in Champaign. And we will be back to watch the second half of high school basketball with Mendota on top of Hamilton at halftime.
First highlights. And we're back at Assembly Hall, 35-32, as you can plainly see. But what will it be when it all comes to conclusion in 16 regulation minutes or more? We haven't had an overtime game yet today. But now let's take a look at some of the highlights here in the first half of this Hamilton-Mendota ball game.
Well, it's a good look right here up the floor. It's a good steal and a nice pass up the floor by Kilmartin. Look at the finish. Good body control, and Aaron Eddy finishes the play. A fast break basket off of a steal. A long pass down the floor. The pass by Lemon. Here comes Brownlee. A good look right there. There's the big fellow. Meister gets it up on the glass. A nice kiss off the glass for two. Good ball movement right here into Brownlee. Meister, right place, right time. Gets it up on the window, gets the two-pointer.
What a great pass. Check this out.
Bet it's going to be on the floor. What do you think?
You got it.
Look at the pass by Lemon right here. Here comes the pass. There's Holcomb right there. Holcomb gets a nice finish on the play.
That was a tough shot.
And a tough catch and a good pass.
And the freshman.
Freshman off the bench. They're not supposed to do this, Jim. Knocks down a three. Duke off the bench for Mendota. He gets 7 points. Meister with 10. Holcomb with 6. Monroe with 5. Brownlee chips in with 14. Go on the other side, Mendota. Kryling leads the way, 13. Rosenwinkel, 7. Duke, the freshman off the bench, with 7. Kilmartin gets 6.
The man who leads this game in the coaching department, Mike Kilmartin, standing by with Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Jim. Mike, tell us a little bit about your halftime. You got a slim lead. You've got to feel pretty good about that at this point.
Yes, I do. Feel very good. We let them shoot threes that we didn't get any pressure on them. And we knew they had 4 good 3 shooters, and that's a big concern. So we have to shore that up. But we feel that the big guy's getting tired, and that may be obviously it's going to be to our advantage.
All right, Mike, go get him.
Thank you very much.
Have a great second half, and we will be back with that second half after this timeout from the Assembly Floor Hall.
But if Meister keeps pouring them in like that, maybe Hamilton will have their first.
Yeah, tough shot, too, on the baseline that time by Meister.
Same starting 5 for both units. We'll set them for you momentarily. Kilmartin gets it blocked out front by Lemon. Meister cranks up the transition game. Actually, Stevenson started this second half. He's got the ball low post, slapped away, but a foul on Eric Becker. I think what Coach Brian Stillwell is trying to do is jumpstart his 6-man Stevenson. He probably said, okay, hey, you didn't have the half you usually do. I'm going to start you in the second half, see what you can do.
Well, he got in foul problems. Stevenson, a good job running the floor. A good look by Holcomb inside. Stevenson strong to the glass, and he was fouled on the play. See, Stevenson slips right down the lane right there. And Stevenson, he's a good scorer. They need for him to score some points, and he shoots 70% from the line on the year.
I'll tell you, Becker got a lot of ball on that one. He got a lot of ball. Those are tough calls to make. I certainly would not want to be an official. That and the vice president of the country. 2 things I don't want to do. Too tough, too tough. Out of bounds it goes, and Mendota will regain possession up by 3. That's what they were up as we began this second half. Eddy works against the pressure nicely. That's how you do it. Rosenwinkel helped out. Down low, that's a terrible shot, actually. Kryling, I think, was looking for some kind of contact on the baseline. When he didn't get the call, he had to throw it up, and that got nothing but air.
Look at Jason Kryling, 35, outstanding player. Kryling, another young player, only
lot of them in this tournament. Eric Duke, speaking of young, the freshman, is on the floor again as well for Coach Mike Kilmartin. Why not? He has to play with a hot hand. Holcomb given a little space by Kilmartin.
Mendota sitting back. It's a 2-3. It's a matchup zone.
Brownlee, who likes to penetrate, can't find any opening there. Meister triple team. Oh, Rosenwinkel's just leaning on him inside.
I think you still got to go to him. I think the big fella's got to slide across from block to block.
Turn around by Stevenson. Too much rim. Rebound is fought for, and Rosenwinkel will be called for the personal foul. Going back to the outset of this game, we told you that Hamilton wanted to get some transition buckets. They really haven't had a lot of those, but they have had the inside scoring.
Yeah, they got some transition baskets early, but they have got some big points on the inside. Meister's been a real factor.
Holcomb for three, short, out of bounds. Last touch by Brownlee. Mendota with the basketball.
Now Mendota, they had to get some good play out of their guards. The guards had to knock down some shots from the outside, but they also had to do a good job of getting on the glass, control the defensive boards. They couldn't give up any easy baskets or offensive rebounds, and for most of it, they've done a good job with that.
Eric Duke obviously looking at the X factors of the game, because when he came in, he gave him that outside shooting. Criley won't get that one. And Hamilton comes down with a chance to tie with the three. Meister high post, and Stevenson will send it all the way across. Somebody's going to be open. That somebody is Lemon. The three won't fall, however. Out of there with it is Eddie, who almost had it stripped away by Holcomb. Crowd kind of quiet right now. Kryling makes him wake up.
He does such a good job going to the open spot. He cuts and he shoots it so well going away from the basket. He squares the shoulders nicely. Good quick release. Boy, he's just an outstanding player.
Mendota by 5. Low post Stevenson. They'll force it across to Lemon. Meister in the right place and just drops it home. Quickly the transition game. Duke, though, will wait for mates. Under 5 minutes now in the third quarter. Kryling to a wide open Kilmartin, but the bounce pass caused him to think about it. Duke will go to the hole, in and out. Whew, how did he get it over Meister, and how did it come out? Holcomb the other way. Stevenson needs a bucket badly. He gets nothing but air. Foul on Brownlee. Well, Brownlee thought the foul was on Kilmartin, but he didn't get the call he wanted.
Well, you're right about Sean Stevens. He just needs something to go his way. He's really struggled. He's picked up 3 personal fouls. His shot hasn't been there. He's really struggling. He's yet to score here in the ball game. He's 0 of 3 from the floor and 0 of 2 from the line.
We've got a timeout on the floor. One of your network sponsors is ICI Seeds. We were talking about what an impact Eric Duke, the freshman, made in the first half. He's trying to make more of an impact here.
Well, he just takes it right strong to the glass. He wasn't intimidated a bit by the 6'8", 240-pounder. Took it in, the shot wouldn't go, and then the shot here by Sean Stevenson. It's a difficult play right there, and Kilmartin and Brownlee, both of them going for the basketball, and they give the foul to the junior, Todd Brownlee.
Breaking the press with the long pass, but it gets away, and Meister picks it up. Eddie could not quite control that pass as it was just out of his reach. The other way, Lemon drills it. We've got a one-point ball game, 39-38. Ryan Lemon and John Holcomb. You don't hear a lot about these guys because of the big guys, but I'm telling you, this team doesn't win without them. Kilmartin, no. Rebound, Meister. He controlled it before it went out of bounds. Here comes the aforementioned Ryan Lemon. In a hurry, he surveys the floor, passes to Holcomb, does not get it to fall, but we've got a whistle.
No, you got to count the basket. Yeah, that's a goaltending
call. Goaltending. Somebody slapped that backboard when it was up there, and you cannot do that.
Yeah, see once again here, it's a nice bounce pass to Lemon. The receiver is Holcomb right there. See how Rosenwinkel goes up? His hand hits the basketball on the glass. Good call by the official. Good call right there by the official. Count the basket, give Hamilton the lead at 40-39.
So Mendota will try to.
That's good camera work too by the fellas.
Yes, indeed. Mendota will try to get over that goaltending call that caused them to be the people behind right now. Oh, pass knocked away by Meister. They tried to get it into Kryling, and Meister just reached over and slapped it away. With 3:30 remaining here in the third quarter, Hamilton has awoken. Holcomb open for a moment, doesn't want it. Meister does. Too hard. Rebound Kryling. Kryling with a long baseball pass up ahead. Duke will have to slow it down. Kryling's open. That's his area. He'll go to the glass and he'll draw the foul, or no? Traveling. It was a good idea, but he took a step before he went in there.
Feel the momentum kind of shifting the way of Hamilton.
Yeah, you never know in this game. It's been so even, Steven. I don't want to say until it's about a 10-point margin for somebody. Hamilton had an 8-point margin in the first half, but that was quickly taken care of by the Trojans of Mendota. The big game for Hamilton in this second season was against their arch rival, Warsaw. They won it in the regional in 2 overtimes as we have a turnover for Hamilton, and that really kick-started them along tournament trail because Warsaw had beaten them earlier in the year in another tight ball game. Turnover for turnover here.
I think Kryling's got to take that jumper. You know, he's drawing a crowd. If the jumper's not there, you got to kick out and let somebody else shoot the basketball.
Holcomb spots Lemon. Lemon's moving. Lemon throws it up, and he is fouled. Boy, he hit the floor hard. And so did Kilmartin. Kilmartin might be shaken up a little bit. Yeah, he's getting up with a gimpy ankle. Ooh.
Take a look at Lemon taking it strong to the glass right there. It looked like he got the inside of his knee hit on that play. As Lemon goes down, and it was Kilmartin, but it looked like he just got the inside of his knee hit.
John Hackstadter will come in right now, along with Eric Becker. And Kilmartin will take a rest and try to shake off that painful knee injury.
Kilmartin had problems finding that range from the outside. Good look at Jason Kilmartin, but he's 0 of 8 from the floor. 6 points have come at the stripe on 6 of 8 free throw shooting.
Now here's a kid who has really come on for Hamilton at the free throw line. Ryan Lemon. He's averaged 16 points over his last 10 games. Coming in here with an overall average of 11 points a game, leading the team in assists with 124. So Hamilton doesn't get here without Ryan Lemon, the senior. Scored 15 in the super sectional for Coach Brian Stillwell. But he can't get the free throws to fall. Inside is Havens. Oh, he drains it. Man, that was a fade away from heaven. 42-39.
Just comes in off the bench and he gets a bump, a tough shot, but a big basket for the Hamilton Cardinals.
With the basketball, it is Becker out front. Now they'll work it inside. Becker open for a moment. And they'll just start it back up. Again, the new man, John Hackstadter, number 30, working inside. This is his first action of the game as Becker gets a big bucket at the other end for Mendota. They left him open. They dared him to take it.
Well, Havens just bought the fake. Havens went out for the block, and then nothing there. I guess he's come down by now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's down. He's back at the other end. Meister. That's what he does so well. He gets up on that high post and he spots people like that. Havens, good. And he'll get a chance for a 3-point play. Meister spotted Havens, and Havens, who he doesn't average a lot of points, only 6 points, but he gets 6 rebounds. This is the man, of course, who played fullback for Mendota and picked up only 1,800 yards this past football season.
Yeah, nice drop pass right there. Meister looked like he had the shot, went up, spotted Havens down low, and Havens with the inside position. Havens with a good finish. The basket counts, and Mendota back to within 3 now, 44-41, but Havens at the line looking to complete the 3-point play the old-fashioned way, Jim.
Yeah, this man is going to Miami of Ohio on a football scholarship. That makes Miami of Ohio happy and his parents happy as well. That helps the bank account, believe me. And a 3-point play it is for Jason Havens. And Mendota trails by 4 with 1:15 remaining here in the third quarter. Kilmartin short. Here comes Lemon. Look at his speed. Nice bounce pass Holcomb. Ooh, he can't get it to fall as he falls, and he'll go to the free throw line. And the man who fouled him, Aaron Eddy, picks him up off the deck. Good foul, if you really think about it, because he can't let him roam.
Well, once again, a nice pass by Lemon there. It's the bounce pass. They use it so effectively. Obviously, they work on the bounce pass in practice. And right there was John Holcomb, and he was fouled by Kilmartin on the play.
Right.
So it was a great look once again. It's going to send Holcomb to the line.
Free throw is good. Holcomb 74% from the stripe, so he's one of those guys. You like to have your guards, especially your penetrating guards, hit around 75–80% of their free throws, because you're going to pick up 8, 9, 10 points a game. Just like that, suddenly Hamilton's lead is 6 with a minute remaining here in the third quarter.
Hamilton now 6 of 11 from the stripe.
Kilmartin's outside jumper has kind of deserted him lately. That's had an effect on his score.
Yeah, he's 0 of 9 from the floor.
Man. Goes all the way across the other way to Roman, and it's knocked away.
So Meister knocked that away.
Monroe pulls up. Now he wants a 3, and he gets it. Darren Monroe hit the 3, did it in the first half, and Hamilton has a 9-point lead. As we near the end of the third quarter, we've got a timeout on the floor. And you can see Mr. Monroe getting the glad hand over there in the huddle. That's a big, big shot.
Yeah, Monroe with 8. It's 3 of 4 from three-point range.
Yeah, we said he was a good three-point shooter. He doesn't play an awful lot, but he makes the most of it. Joe Passion standing by now on the Assembly Hall floor. Joe?
We want to talk a little bit about this young man, Sean Stevenson. What a career. Greg talked about him having a tough game. He's had a tough career. His brother was killed in an auto accident in late October. And then earlier this season, he was suspended for 8 games. But what his coach, Brian Stillwell, loves about this kid is he toughed it out despite those 2 setbacks and came back a more mature, a more focused individual on and off the court. Even though he may be having a tough go here, this is the kind of kid that may tough it out in the end when it counts.
A lot of people think that the aforementioned Sean Stevenson would probably have been an honorable mention All-Stater had he played the entire year. And of course, you got to admire Brian Stillwell. He has rules, and those rules will be followed. And you know, a lot of kids don't like the fact that I'm a starter, coach. Come on, I got to start. Well, he has not started ever since he broke the team rule, and he comes off the bench. And tonight, another tough night in the life of Sean Stevenson.
But he gets about 25 minutes per ball game.
Yeah.
He's probably their best defensive man, too. So he's had a lot to say with the fact that they're 28-2 on the year, and they're battling Mendota here in the quarterfinal ball game.
If you don't think the Trojans need a bucket to end the third quarter, you must be watching something else, because they need to stem the tide. They throw it away out front. This is Lemon on the breakaway. What a defensive play by Eddie. Eddie got down there and slapped it away.
Boy, I just saved Kilmartin, because Kilmartin just a bad decision, a bad pass, and a great steal by Lemon back the other way, but Eddie saved the basket.
Still.
Here he comes right here. Watch Eddie. Look at the hustle. Look at the hustle. The reach in. The great play that time by Eddie.
Down low to Meister. Couldn't get it to fall. Rosenwinkel up ahead. I don't think that pass will make it. It finally does. But they better hurry. 2 seconds. 1 second. Duke. Count. Eric Duke nails the 3 at the buzzer, and Mendota is not about to go away. Hamilton leads it after 3 at the Assembly Hall. 50-44. We'll return following these local messages. Here's those final seconds in the third quarter.
And there's the freshman once again spotted up behind the arc. He follows it through, lets everybody know it's a 3. Another 3-point basket. Eric Duke 2 of 3 from 3-point range, 10 points. The summary: Hamilton 24 points to Peyton Meister 14 points, 7 rebounds. Monroe 6 points off bench. Mendota Criley 17 points, 5 rebounds, 23 total rebounds. 23 for Mendota and only 18 for Hamilton.
This game summary brought to you by Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Hamilton had to scramble after that. Got it back in check. Hamilton was up by 9 before that beat the buzzer 3 by the freshman Duke. I like this Ryan Lemon. He's a good guard. Stevenson in the ball game, gets it down low to Holcomb off the glass. Just like that, the lead back up to 8.
That's a tough shot, too, to take a guard in and let a guard post up, a 6-foot guard post up with his back to the basket. He's able to catch and in turn kiss off the window for 2. 2-3 zone defense by Hamilton.
Well, Hamilton's holding most of the cards right now. Out front, this time Duke will not get it to fall. Rosenwinkel has a shot blocked, but Mendota maintains possession. Kryling had it go off his foot, and here comes Hamilton. Lemon will wait, or will he? Yeah, he'll kick it back around.
Well, you're right. Lemon really does a good job running the ball club, doesn't he? He's a floor general out there.
Meister better get rid of it. Oh, he stepped on the end line. What I like mostly about Meister, I mean, you can talk about his body, of course, how big it is, and how he has a nice soft touch. What I like about him is his demeanor. He doesn't react differently whether it's a good play or a bad play. He just stays nice and level. That's hard to do when you're in high school. I still have trouble doing it. Inside, Kryling bothered by Meister. He'll force it up. Get it. What a shot. Man, with Meister all over him.
Well, we got a 6-point ball game now. They were trailing by 9.
Look at Meister. That is soft, isn't it? How did he make that quick little bunny step down there and get free?
Well, Eddie just didn't do a good job shutting you off. That was the case there. It was a good offensive play, but I can't say much for the defensive play by Eddie that time.
And this is Eddie out front. Of course, when you're small, you see something that big coming at you. You don't always get that brain body movement working. Eddie needs it off the glass and gets it.
Well, I'll brag about him on that play, though. It was a real heads-up play that time by the 5'10" senior Eddie. He took it to the glass, and then he got it up high on the glass. And a nice basket that time by Aaron Eddy.
Mike Kilmartin's club trails by 6. And he wants full court pressure on this. Havens will check out. Brownlee is back in. That, of course, for Hamilton. Havens hit a couple of big buckets in that run that Hamilton had in the 3rd quarter. Here's the pressure. Ooh, almost stolen away.
Steal by Kilmartin.
This is when it gets tense. 5:33 remaining. You're this close to making it to the semifinals. Hamilton's lead is 6. Holcomb will get it to fall somehow. From all angles, that did not look like it would find the net. Somehow it did. Duke gets his own rebound. Duke, nice pass to Rosenwinkel. Boy, did he do it all? He missed a shot, got his own rebound, penetrated, and found his man. At the other end, Brownlee got it! Brownlee got it to fall. Man, that is the shot of the night so far. What body control. Flipped it up with the left hand off the glass. I've got to see it again, but let's go to the other end first, Greg.
Well, here's the no-look pass right there. Nice dish right there. Rosenwinkel with the finish. Duke with the assist. Then on the other, look at the body control. Acrobatic play right here. Throws it high up off the glass. You see the emotion out of Todd Brownlee. A great play by Brownlee.
And he completes the 3-point play, and Hamilton's lead is 9. Boy, that really broke Mendota's back because they get a bucket at the other end to cut it down to 4, and now they're in trouble. Actually, that one cut it to 6. Eddie inside. Has it slapped away. Has it slapped away again, but they're going to call a foul on John Holcomb from behind.
Going to get Holcomb on the reach on that play.
This game has had a little bit of everything, hasn't it? Good outside shooting, good inside play.
Both these teams, though, very well coached. You know, I like the way both these ball clubs are coached. The coaches make strategic moves during timeouts.
The 4s are wild. We've got 4:44 left in the 4th game of the quarterfinals. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. This is Assembly Hall. This place is not young anymore. It's got its own history, and we're making some history tonight. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the written consent of Cost Broadcast Sales is strictly prohibited. 59-50, Hamilton leads it. Mendota with a basketball. Rosenwinkel kicks it in to Kryling, who's had an incredible game. Kilmartin has struggled from the field. Kryling has not, but he misses that shot. Rosenwinkel can't get the tip. Goes back up, and he'll go to the free throw line. That is just heart right there.
Yeah, it's just hard work on the inside. Rosenwinkel on the inside. Stevenson was on the inside, Meister on the inside. Meister picks up his 4th personal foul. There's just a battle right there. Who wants it? Who wants the basketball? It's Rosenwinkel. He was the guy that wanted it a little bit more than Stevenson or Meister. By mistake, give the foul to Stevenson, his 4th personal foul. I thought it was on Meister.
Rosenwinkel gets the free throw. Mendota has some time, not a lot, but 4:34 is a lot, especially with the three-point weapon in high school basketball. Kilmartin telling his troops what he wants after the made free throw. What he wants is full court pressure. 7-point lead for the Cardinals from Hamilton. I'll tell you what, against full court pressure, these two guards would not be bad to have, Holcomb and Lemon.
See, they got to match up. Mendota's having some matchup problems. They're trying to get to a man-to-man defense, but they were having some problems. Now I think they've got it straightened out with guards on guards. So Krylin's got to check Brown. You know, Brown is a 6'2" player, but Krylin's still got to check.
Taking some good time off the clock, and then Lemon comes up and just nails it. He finds a seam, gets the pass, hits the net, and it's a 9-point lead again. And a steal out front. Here comes Stevenson. Jam time. No, he just lay it in. And that may have done it as far as Mendota's chances are concerned. Stevenson, who hasn't had a great game, comes up with a big steal, and he may have sealed it for his Hamilton Cardinals. 63-52 is our score right now. 3:39 remaining.
Here is
Kilmartin with the basketball. There's the pass right there, and there's the strip right there. As Stevenson slips in, nice. Taking care of the basketball very well. He's going back the other way. Maybe he thought a little bit about the dunk, but he said, I've had all kinds of problems tonight. Let me finish this the easy way. He looks to see if anybody's coming to check the shot, lays it up on the glass, a nice basket, and the steal set it up by Stevenson. Stevenson with a nice finish.
I think you're exactly right about that dunk. When you're having a shaky night, you want to put it down. Let's go to Joe Passion. Joe?
Jim, you and Greg had mentioned earlier about some of the things that this Mendota team has overcome to get here to the finals. Well, as you mentioned, they only have 2 seniors on the team. Of course, in Aaron Eddy and Rosenwinkel, those seniors have led the charge. Earlier this year, 6 kids from this Mendota team quit the team. They felt they weren't getting enough playing time from the coach. Coach Kilmartin showed them the door, and of course that door has opened their way here to Assembly Hall. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Joe. 3:39 remaining here. Of course, 3 teams are going Betty by about right now, getting ready for tomorrow. Those 3 teams are Caro, who beat Dakota today, Hales Franciscan from Chicago, who took care of Normal, and then Staunton, who beat Riverton. They are in the semifinals. Let's take a look at the field goals, Greg.
Yeah, 57% for Mendota.
And now Mendota lets it get away. Eric Becker thought that one of his mates was cutting outside, but that mate was not there.
That's really 56% for Hamilton and 39% for Mendota. That's the field goals. That's the way they should be.
Down low, Meister!
Count it.
When you got that kind of soft touch, the rim sends you Valentine's. I love you. I love your shot. And Hamilton, as most people expected, looks like they'll win this game, but I'm telling you, Mendota made it hard on them, especially that kid Krylan. And now even his shot is fading away. As we told you, Mendota came in here with 9 losses, but that was deceiving because they played 6 AA schools, 6 of those losses against the higher class. And, hey, they made Hamilton work for everything here. Hamilton only shook them off about 4 minutes ago.
Well, the freshman Duke out there really pressuring, too, getting after Brownlee.
Wide open is Holcomb. In and out. Rebound Stevenson. Yeah, that's what he can do. When his game is on, that's what he can do. And suddenly a tight game is turning into a blowout. Foul out front by Ryan Lemon. Ryan's like, hey, I got the ball, coach. And his coach is saying, I know you got the ball, but don't stop the clock.
Yeah,
okay?
we don't need fouls right now. Well, I like the guards of this ball club. You're right. Ryan Lemon and John Holcomb. Nice backcourt pair for Hamilton. And you can take a look at the Mendota bench, and it pretty well tells the story of who's winning the basketball game, doesn't it?
It certainly does. But that NCIC conference still represented because LaSalle Peru is alive and well in Class AA. After beating Rock Island tonight, they will head to the Super Sectional.
Kilmartin yet to get a field goal, but he's 6 of 8 from the line, make it 7 of 9. And Mendota's ball club 17 of 19 from the stripe. So the free throws have really kept him in the basketball game. Only 7 of 12 for Hamilton.
Yeah, the off night by Kilmartin certainly did not help the cause for Mendota. But remember, this is the youngest team down here at State. We're talking about 2 seniors, Eddie and Rosenwinkel, and then Becker is only a junior, as is Kilmartin. Kreiling is only a sophomore. Duke is only a freshman. Roman, who also plays, only a sophomore. So the future, nothing but bright for Mr. Kilmartin and Mendota. Down to 2:10 now remaining in this ball game, and Hamilton will just take their sweet old time. This is when you love to be a coach. You know, you're up by 15. You can shout instructions. You know that everything's going your way, and you're going to play again tomorrow against Staunton. Look at that. Look at that. Brian Stillwell is actually loosening his tie. Now that has to be a sign. That has to be a sign.
That puts Hamilton in the bonus. Number 20, Eric Becker, back in for Mendota. Replaces Eric.
Looking at some of the 2A sectional games here. We'll give them to you as they are given to us. Boy, who wrote this stuff down? This is like reading Chinese.
Well, the big one I see there is Centralia was a winner over Carbondale. Carbondale with a record of 24-3. They were knocked off by Centralia 73-60. So they advance, and Centralia is going to be matched up against Edwardsville. That's a surprise.
Yeah. Lead back to 15 after the throws. Mendota. Oh, Kreiling just has it checked that. I mean, Kilmartin had it taken away out front. And Stevenson gets another 2. I got to quit trying to read these scores here and get back on the court. I'll let you do that. There's Duke outside where he hit that big bucket at the end of the 3rd quarter, but this one does not have the same result.
Yeah, the final score is not really going to be any indication of how close this ball game was for about the first half and about half of the 3rd quarter.
Kilmartin and Lemon got tangled up, and Lemon's telling Kilmartin, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cross feet with you." They both hit the deck, and of course, Coach Kilmartin wanted a foul call. That's one of it's hard. That's a hard call when 2 people are going for a loose ball. In essence, it's really a hard call. Sometimes the no call is the best call.
Yeah, I kind of agreed with the official on that particular play. You know, both of them are going after the basketball. It could have gone either way. A very happy Hamilton ball club, and there's a look at Kilmartin, 0 of 9 from the floor in the ball game.
Monroe has checked in for Hamilton wearing number 12, and the big guy, Kurt Meister, he's in front of me right now, and there's a cloud over me. I swear, I can't see. 71-54 right now. Lemon will bring it back up. He's going to play around outside and wait for the foul. And there's the foul. Well, let's check out our player of the game, brought to you by Milk. Enjoy real dairy products. Look for the real seal in your grocer's dairy case. Yes, Mr. Meister had a good first half, but this guy really keyed things as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I agree with you. Holcomb with 16 points. He's 5 of 9 from the floor, and 5 of 6 from the stripe. He's the floor general. He's a 6-foot senior guard. And there's a good look at John Holcomb at the line to shoot free throws.
And of course, let's not forget about Ryan Lemon. He had a big part in this ball game as well.
And Meister, he's really their leading scorer at 18.
Shot will not fall. I don't know why. Eddie did everything right on that except get it to fall. And now with 1:05 remaining, we'll march the other way for free throws. Sometimes these last 2 and 3 minutes of a game can be forever.
Hamilton's a nice basketball team. I like the blend of the ball club. I like Meister on the inside. I like Havens on the inside. Sean Stevenson's a nice player, but I like the backcourt too. John Holcomb and also Ryan Lemon. So they've got a nice blend of inside and outside.
Mendota had the biggest enrollment here as far as students was concerned, so that will fly by. The smallest and the largest are gone now, and now we're just down to 4, and 4 talented teams will take the court tomorrow. And there you see Chad Rosenwinkel. He had a tough game. I mean, he had to play inside with those big guys. He held his own. Here's Holcomb. Nice pass.
Nice look. Havens with the finish, but the pass, the assist, give the assist to to Holcomb. 3 assists for Holcomb in the game. Another steal back the other way by Lemon. Good body control and the finish. Lemon gets it 75-54 now. Hamilton on top. Final 40 seconds of the ball game.
And unfortunately for Mendota, in the paper tomorrow, this is going to look like a rout, but that was not the case at all as Eddie misses. A putback is up and no good. Kryling has it. He'll score with 30 seconds remaining.
And give Kryling 21 in the ball game.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Mike Kilmartin is going to be disappointed. You're always disappointed when you lose, but he's playing a very talented team here. And again, this was the youngest team at the tournament, Mendota was, and you got time. I mean, you can't always guarantee yourself another Sweet 16 berth, although Mike Kilmartin's been there 4 of the last 7 years. Let's take a look at that play of the game brought to you by American Airlines and American Eagle. Something special in the air. Speaking of something special, watch this pass.
Well, nice strip. Lemon on the defensive play. Defense creates instant offense. Look how he's got his eyes up looking. He threads the needle with the bounce pass on the finish. There's his running mate in the backcourt. John Holcomb gets a nice, easy layup, and those two guys hooked up for a nice one on that play.
I'd say Holcomb has had the consummate night, hasn't he? He's the player of the game. He's also involved in the play of the game. Compliments of his running mate, Ryan Lemon, who's a very happy young man right now. They'll take on again Staunton tomorrow. Join us bright and early, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning from the Assembly Hall as we get down to the semi-final business.
Well, really looking forward to that first game tomorrow with Caro and Hales. That ought to be an up-tempo, fast-paced ball game. Both ball clubs have outstanding players. Tyrone Nesby of Caro and Greg Wood of Chicago Hales Franciscan. And the Staunton-Hamilton matchup's going to be a good one, too.
And don't forget about Simeon Williams, the other 6'7" man. And, of course, I like a lot of players on that Franciscan team. They got some leapers in there. There's some athletes there. Of course, their coach, Tom Shields, trying to win 2 state championships with different teams. He was the coach of Providence St. Mel when they were dominating in Class A. Stepping out of bounds for Hamilton is number 22, Scott Light.
Providence St. Mel won that championship back in 1985.
Yeah, Hamilton's not necessarily partying yet, and you can't party when you got 2 more games to play within 24 hours. Nice drive to the hole there by Clint Roman. Clint Roman picking it up for Mendota.
He's a sophomore, another young player getting a little experience here. Averages right at 8 points per ball game and can shoot to 3. He's hit 37 threes on the year. At the line, needs to spend a little time in the offseason over the summer working on his free throws. So a little right around 50%.
Of course, we want to thank the people that this telecast just wouldn't happen without, and that is the cameramen who roam Assembly Hall here all 4 games. They have their work cut out for them after 2 days of shooting 8 games. They look like they've been somewhere out in the Saudi desert for a while, aren't they? They're earning their keep, that's for sure. You get a good look at Brian Stillwell and what he looks like when he knows he's got a win in the bag. This will be win number 28 for Hamilton. They'll be 28-2. And the year will end for Mendota at 19-10. Kilmartin getting in his last words. There's our CarX Scholar Athlete Award. Jason Sowers of Riverton High School. Look at that grade point average. 4.7 out of a possible 5. Class rank is 7th. He wants to major in finance and play basketball in college. And our other winner of the CarX Scholar Athlete Award, Chad Rosenwinkel of Mendota High School. GPA of 3.9 out of 4. He ranks 2nd in his class. Says Rosenwinkel, I plan to attend a 4-year university and major in accounting with a minor in finance. Well, with my checkbook, I won't be talking to him. I won't need any help. We got just about 2 seconds remaining here before this one is in the history books. These quarterfinal days, and there you see the coach's son, Kilmartin. He did not want this result, but he's going to get another chance.
Only a junior.
Yeah, you come down to Assembly, have a great year like Kilmartin has had, and then you just can't find the hole, and that haunts you for a while. But you got to get rid of it. That's part of growing up. Not everything goes your way all the time. And that's the way it ends. 75-59. Hamilton Hamilton wins it by 16 points, but believe me, folks, it was a much closer game than that. 75-59. We'll return and wrap up things at Assembly Hall after this from one of your network sponsors, DuPont. And we are back as Assembly Hall empties itself out here on this Friday night. Cold Friday night in Champaign, but not cold for the Hamilton Cardinals, who won it here tonight 75-59. At the end of the third quarter, it looked like Mendota had the momentum they needed. The freshman hit a three-pointer. We're talking about Eric Duke. That pulled them back. And then in the beginning of the fourth quarter, Hamilton did what got him here. They did everything right.
Well, Hamilton went on a run to start the fourth quarter, and they did it with some good inside play. Meister's a good player on the inside. He finished with 18 points in the ball game, but the backcourt was just superb for Hamilton. Speaking of Lemon, when you look at the job that he did and also the job of Holcomb, and especially Holcomb, I thought he really stepped up and had a big ball game offensively. He had 16 points also.
And even Sean Stevenson, who had a very tough night, got into the act in the fourth quarter. And that may not have been a turning point here tonight in this ball game, but it may be a turning point come tomorrow, because he is one of the kids who feeds the fuel to this Hamilton Fire. He's got to play good basketball if they're going to go on and get to that championship game. And he got some necessary points there. He got a big steal, as a matter of fact, to pretty much seal this ball game for Hamilton. The final again was 75-59. We're going to come your way tomorrow, of course, at 11 o'clock. But right now, let us take a look at the stats in this final quarterfinal game, brought to you by Milk and the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Wisconsin and Illinois.
Well, the field goal percentage really tells the story for Hamilton. They shoot 59%, 38% for Mendota. Look at the stripe, 19 of 21 for Mendota, 91%, only 53%, 9 of 17 for Hamilton. 3-point field goals, 4 of 9 for Hamilton, 2 of 10 for Mendota. Rebounds, the edge to Mendota. A little surprise there. They out-rebounded by 8, 32-24. Turnovers, 16 for Mendota and 6 for Hamilton.
So we have 4 winners and 4 losers today. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. But first, let's take another break. One of your next sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Back live here at Assembly Hall, and the semifinals now are set for Saturday. It'll be Carroll against Chicago Hales Franciscan in our 11 o'clock tip-off Saturday morning, to be followed by semifinal game number 2 that will be played early in the afternoon. And that, of course, will pit Staunton against Hamilton starting at approximately 12:45 in the afternoon. So the semifinals are set here in the Class A basketball finals here at Assembly Hall, and should make for a great tournament. We hope you'll join us on Saturday. For Jim Elbert, Greg Sterick, and Dick Ludke, I'm Joe Passion saying so long from the Assembly Hall in Champaign. The IHSA tournament is being brought to you in part by the Country Companies Insurance. When it matters most, the country's behind you. And by Milk and the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Wisconsin and Illinois. And Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on. CarX Muffler and Brake. For mufflers, brakes, and shocks, don't worry, call the CarX man. And by Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota.